Hello everyone, welcome back to our Self-Learning Center, International News and Fun. Today we will be talking about proficiency tests. I know that many of you in your university years will think about taking the TOEIC, the TOEFL, the IELTS, or the GPT, or some other proficiency test that requires you to practice your English, to use your English, and maybe improve your English exponentially. So one of the first things that I want to remind you of in preparing for a proficiency test is to know well ahead what you want to use it for. Maybe you want to become an exchange student. Maybe you want to apply for further studies overseas. Maybe you want to join a company that requires you to use English on a daily basis. Maybe you want to take the test so that you can get a raise in your future job. There are many reasons why people take proficiency tests. It should be a concrete reason. Oftentimes, in my experience, when students come to me, they might say, I don't have a good reason for taking the test yet, but I still want to go take it to improve my English. There are a few problems with this. First of all, many tests don't allow their scores to be used for more than a couple of years. So for instance, the TOEFL test scores can only be used for 2 years. It's actually very expensive to take the TOEFL. If you take the test now but later find that you need to use your scores but the scores have already expired, you might have to do it again, and it's very expensive to do so. So for these reasons, I always stress to students, if you're going to take a proficiency test, know your exact purpose for doing it and plan ahead. The second suggestion that I have for you is to give yourself at least 2 chances to take the test. If you're going to apply to become an exchange student, don't take the test toward the deadline of your application. Give yourself at least 2 chances to take the test. When I applied to become a graduate student, I prepared to take the GRE, one of the other tests, but I also prepared to take the TOEFL twice each. In the end, I didn't have to take the second time. The first time the scores that I got on the first time were good enough. But you can always cancel. It's sort of an insurance policy that you can give for yourself. So my suggestion for you is to plan for 2 times. Plan to take the test twice if necessary. Plan ahead. That's my second suggestion. The third suggestion, I can't stress this enough, is to always, at the beginning, before you start preparation, to take a mock exam. No matter what test you are going to take, be it the TOEFL, the IELTS, make sure that you practice taking the test from start to finish. The TOEFL exam, for example, is a very stressful exam. It takes 4 hours to administer. You start from reading and listening and then move on to speaking and writing. You'll have to do it all at once. A lot of times when we practice for proficiency tests, it's sort of more scattered. You practice reading one day, you practice speaking some other time. It's a really daunting experience the first time you practice. So I encourage you at the beginning to know what it feels like. Take a mock test. The fourth suggestion that I give to you is to make use of library resources. As a university student, since you're paying tuition, make use of the library resources that we have. There are platforms like Easy Test you can use. There are all kinds of self-learning resources here at the Self-Learning Center. It costs a lot of money, I think, to take proficiency test preparation courses. There are a lot of fantastic resources here in the university. And lots of students, myself included, didn't have to go through a preparation course, an expensive preparation course, to do well in the exam. So those are the 4 suggestions that I can give to all of you. I have a question for you, of course, for you to practice your output. Do you plan on taking a proficiency test or have you taken one before? Why? And how did you do? Share your experience or your plans in the comments below. Thank you all very much.